So a few years ago, I got back into model making. I used to do it a little bit as a kid and then had this long break where I didn't touch it. And then years ago, I saw this awesome 112 scale Revell Ferrari Formula One model, the championship dominating for Michael Schumacher car. Finished that, was reasonably happy with it, and then during COVID, during lockdown, I wanted to tackle something else, and so I thought, okay, let's find another iconic motorsport car, and of course, couldn't look no further than Ken Miles' Ford GT40. Now, unfortunately, back when I was looking for the kit, what is now readily available, which is the Meng 112 scale Ford GT40, wasn't available. And so just doing a bit of research, trying to find something that was, pretty decent, something that someone with limited ability could put together over a long period of time. It was just a little hard to locate. But in the end, I did find one and ordered it. And then what arrived was this kit. And the shots that I saw had either Trumpeter or Magnifier on the box. So I wasn't really sure what I got because neither Trumpeter or Magnifier was anywhere on the box. It's not in any of the packaging or even in the instruction manuals. But that was the least of my problems because when I opened the box, so it didn't have the happiest of trips on its way to Australia. But even though I got a fraction of a discount from the distributor, I got in touch with Trumpeter directly and they sent me out replacement windscreens at an additional cost, I might add, but still pretty good when it wasn't a Trumpeter branded product. But anyway, back to the reason why I'm making this video. Personally, I just found that there was a lack of resources and information of other kit builders who had done something similar. Just found it hard to find anything that was 112 scale Ford GT40 related. So I'll leave it at that. I'll just let the images run. I might chime in here and there through the video, but I'll see you at the end. So being somewhat of a perfectionist and a stickler for detail, there were a couple of things in the kit that weren't 100%. Things like the gear stick. This may have been correct for the other two cars, but when you look at Ken Miles' car, it certainly didn't look like this. And when I started looking at videos and stills of Ken Miles' car, the gear stick was clearly a different shape. So there was nothing else for it. I needed to fashion my own, so I just used the existing gear stick and made it the right rounded gear knob shape of Ken Miles' car. Something else that was a little vexing was this little yellow lever that was on the dash of Ken Miles' car that clearly wasn't on the dash of the kit. So once again, needed to do something else, so I made my own. But while we're talking around the dashboard, can I just say I'm in love with Tamiya's lacquer paint. This stuff through the airbrush is sublime. The finish is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, somewhat of an overreaction, but yes, that's how it felt when those racing stripes wouldn't line up. And while we're on the topic of decals, can I just say you need the fine motor skills of a brain surgeon to put these decals on these tyres. The process almost broke me. And like a complete noob, I only painted the rims the correct Ken Miles silver afterwards. And again, like a noob, I stuffed the decals that went on the roof, so I had to spray them. Unfortunately, it wasn't a complete disaster. Something that I didn't take a very good picture of was the little recess that comes on the driver's side door that allows for the bubble that was there really for Chris Amon and Bruce McLaren's car, but Ken Miles didn't have that. So I filled it in with Tamiya putty, polished it back, and was pretty happy with the result. So there we have it, all done. I hope the video and some of the shots were helpful to any of you working on a kit like this, a Ford GT40, especially Ken Miles's car. And whilst it was enjoyable to put together, if I was being brutally honest, I have to admit this kit is cantankerous. It really needed to be manhandled the whole time. Panel lines just weren't sitting well together. The suspension just irks me. It sits way too low, so I'll eventually try and fix that. But for someone who doesn't have a huge amount of experience working on models, and especially these big 1/12 scales, I'm reasonably happy with the result. Although I still might go out one day and get the Meng 1/12 scale just to see how well that thing comes together. But for now, it's time to put it under Perspex alongside my Ferrari F1 and ultimately call it done.